Hey guys, Coach Moreau here with another analysis video of the content that you guys have posted. So I got videos from Nithin, Jack, and Sammy to go through some putting, some full swings, and then some posture that will help us to look at a few things. So let's take a look at Nithin's putt video first here. Now this is from straight behind him. And we can't see his full body, but I do know that he's looking at some real good posture here. Good practice swings. Now once he gets up to the ball, I'm going to pause right about there, because although we can't see his head, we can see just the bottom of his chin. And here's something really important. Now when we look at our eyeball placement to the ball, if I take the ball and take it straight upwards, I can see just barely Nithin's chin is just at the top of the camera here, but I can tell that his eyes are directly over the ball. Okay, so something that we often need to correct or need to avoid is leaning too far over the ball and having our eyeballs past the ball way over on what would be the right side of this line in this video. So we want, just like Nithin shows, his eyes are directly over the ball, or we can even have them just a bit inside, but we don't want to lean too far over and have our eyes hanging over the other side of that line. And if we continue to play here, good stroke. I love how his follow through is directly at his target and he's finishing just a bit inside with a nice little arc here. Here's the one thing that I think is just barely nitpicky, but reminds us of a great drill. Okay, at address, we can see that his putter line is perfectly in the center of his golf ball, and then his backswing, really nice, taken directly back, maybe a little bit inside. We don't want that putter to come back in our backswing to the right side of this red line. That would be an outside path, but instead he brings it straight back with a nice square face. And as he comes through, do you see how now the putter line is just barely on the inside of the golf ball? So that means although this, I'm sure, was a solidly struck putt, it does remind us of a great drill we can do to ensure that we're always hitting the ball with the center of our putter. And that would be the gate drill, G-A-T-E, gate drill. I'm going to put something or a description of this on our Schoology post today. But essentially we put, if we were like on a grass green, we would put a tee to the left and to the right of our putter so that we set up a little gate through which the putter must travel in order to ensure that we hit the center of the putter face every time. Now, if you're at home and you don't want to put a tee, or if you can't put something through the surface you're on, what you can do is you can just set up any household object just to the left of your putter and just to the right of your putter to give your putter an alley through which you have to swing. So that way, if your putter hits either of those things, you have instant feedback to know that you were off of that center on your through swing there when you were actually hitting it. So Nithin, great posture, good tempo, very nice swing path of the putter taken on the inside in your backswing, and really nice follow through going through there. All right, now we've got Nithin from straight on, and let's take a look at this one here. I want to show you on this one most is his hand position and posture at address. So we'll stop right about there. And when I first watched this, I was like, you know what? I wish his hands were a little bit forward, which would be the right side of our screen. But watch what he does just before he takes this putter stroke there. See that, how he pressed his hands forward? I'll take it back to there. So this is about 1 second before he hits the golf ball, and then he pushes his hands forward a bit, and that is an excellent starting point. I like that his hands are now equal or just forward of the ball. So that means that instead of having his hands originally where they were back here, they are now a little bit more forward, so his putter is at a slightly de-lofted angle there. That's going to ensure that his hands remain forward of the ball at impact, so he gets the ball rolling instead of lifting the ball, and then the ball will skid on the green. Okay, so this green line shows where Nithin's hands are at a proper location, and I also like that his golf ball is a little bit forward of the exact middle of his stance. Sometimes if the ball is in the middle of your stance, we have a tendency to hit down on the ball, and that will cause the ball to bounce and skid, rather than if it is a bit forward, we kind of catch the ball on the upslope and it starts a forward roll for a very smooth beginning to our putt. So those are all great things. So Nithin, thanks for posting this, for showing us some stuff about swing path, making sure we catch the ball in the center of the putter sweet spot with the gate drill. And then at address, we can see that his hand position is really quite perfect at right before he takes this putter stroke. And let's see the finished product there. Yeah, we can see that when he actually took that putter stroke, his hands were still in that green line position when he actually struck the golf ball, okay? And we don't see his wrists flex at all. Sometimes we can see a mistake where it's like we have from our chest to our hands and then from our hands to our putter. That's a pretty darn straight path, but we don't want our wrists to like flick and then the putter is out in this direction. Okay, so that green line you see all the way to the right, that would be a problem if Nithin were to have like flicked his wrists while he took his putt, but instead we see a very nice straight line from his chest to his hands to his putter head, and he kept it straight all the way through impact. Very nice. All right, let's take a look at Jack's driver. All right, so first of all, I'm going to put in some plane lines so we can get an idea of his swing path. And this is going to be real nice. Good position of the camera, first of all. Thank you, Jack, for that. Setting up directly behind his golf shot. And then here we go. That is a really nice swing path that we talked about during our Zoom session with our practice drill. So too often we see players take the club back on that bottom red line. But look where Jack is. He's all the way up here. That club is coming directly back at us toward the camera. Don't worry about that club being above those lines. That's just because the camera is a bit low. So it's kind of playing a visual trick on us. But I really like how his hands and his driver head are coming right back at us with a nice high angle. And then at the top, watch what happens here. He's way up at the top. First of all, if we kind of imagine his posture like this, from shoulders to hips, hips to knees, then knees to feet, we can see a really nice athletic posture here. And what we can tell is that he is doing a really good job of like turning around this green line up here instead of sliding backwards. So his body's staying pretty much stationary, but he's turning around that top green line, okay? So it's much more of a turn than it is anything else. There's no slide, there's no lateral movement side to side. He is just twisting around that line. And then as he comes through at the top of his swing, look at where that club goes, okay? So this is the top of his backswing. Instead of lifting up or chopping down or having his hands come even more above that top red line, he's coming right down through the center of it. So he drops his hands, comes inside, and look at how perfect of an attack angle that is all the way through the ball. Okay, so again, once he gets to the top of his backswing, he's turning, his hands drop a little bit, his elbows and hands come close to his body for an inside powerful delivery of that club. And look at that, he's still pretty darn close to that those green lines. A lot of times we see kind of a problem with some players having a very rounded body shape here, like your butt and back kind of tuck under. But Jack's athletic posture is really good here. He's really continuing along that green line athletic path with keeping his back straight and his butt out instead of being rounded like that yellow curve line. So really nice job with that. Thanks for showing us that swing plane, Jack. And then finally, Sammy's got a swing here that's going to show us a little bit about posture at address and some balance. So thanks for showing this. And even, I mean, of course, you wouldn't film this with hitting a golf ball directly at the camera, but I have no problem with practice swings from this angle. So what we're going to see is something I want to mention about posture first. Okay, so this is Sammy right before impact. I'm just going to go a little bit forward here to where he is ready to hit that ball. There we go. Okay, so first of all, it kind of looks like his arms and hands are not as relaxed as they could be, okay? Excellent body posture. We can see, like I drew before on Jack's picture, a really nice straight line from head to hips, hips to knees, and knees to feet, instead of like a very, slouchy posture like this. That yellow line is no good. Sammy does a perfect job of having really nice posture that I show with those green lines, okay? The one thing we can work on here is that left arm is very, very straight and flexed. Now, it's good to have a straight left arm through our golf swing, but this almost looks overly extended, like hyperextended, and not very relaxed. And that is causing a really hard grip. It looks like that club is about to be strangled. So we can relax that hand grip a little bit and not over flex that arm. And then when our swing comes back here, pretty good swing path. Now that is an overswing. That's too long of a backswing. But what I do like seeing here a lot is that we've done another good job of turning around that green line instead of sliding. Okay, so Sammy's got great shoulder turn. Just because this was a practice swing, Sammy looked away, but you want to make sure that your head stays down toward the ball. Even though your body turn is fantastic, your left shoulder got really far behind the golf ball, you do want to make sure that your shoulder turn isn't compromising your head stability, okay? So we want to make sure that our head really never moves from that position. And if we see what happened from our beginning there, we do have a little bit of head movement, and then your head turn is the only problem there, okay? So yeah, you do want to turn that left shoulder as well as you are, but not at the expense of moving your head. So make sure you only turn your shoulder as much as you can while maintaining a very still head while looking at the golf ball. Okay, and let's shorten that backswing. And then from another angle, we're a little high on that finish. Let's see what happens on our next one. Okay, and on this one I can see maybe even more so as the first one there is some high shoulders. Okay, so if we for a second go back to Jack's posture with his driver. All right, now I can tell you that Jack just booms his driver. He's a very far ball hitter. So you would expect like him just to be like muscles flexed, not really loose and fluid, but he looks really relaxed in this. Look at how low his shoulders are in compared to his earlobes, okay? His shoulders are down and relaxed. Contrast that with what I see with you, Sammy, in this one. We've just got a nice relaxed position there, but then look what happens when you're about to hit that ball. Whoop. Just kind of flex those neck muscles, bring those shoulders up, and we're no longer looking as relaxed. So you want to drop those shoulders, relax the left arm, and let your hands kind of fall straight down instead of being so outward and flexed like this. So it's okay to have our hands more, or our arms and hands sort of more down in this area, and then that will be our club position instead of so much out and straight toward the club like that. Okay, so our hands can be more down here at the start of our golf swing, and that will allow your arms to hang down more naturally, and your shoulders won't be up and flexed so much. But again, just a reminder that at the start of your swing and throughout your golf swing, this is some of the best posture that we can hope for. Okay, so that straight back, especially this one right here, is so important in maintaining solid contact through the ball. Okay, so guys, thanks a lot for posting those. Hopefully you got something out of these, even though it wasn't you on camera for the other, 15 of you guys. So please keep posting these videos. Having a great time going through them and seeing if I can help you guys out. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.